Today, I wanted to do a piece on a guy that I met in Lompoc. He was one of the most smartest guys that I met. He was one of the most organized, best dressed guys, clean cut, clean bald head guys that I kind of like met in the system. His name is Black. Black is out of Philly. I think Black is familiar with the guys up there, Junior Black JBMs. I had an opportunity to know Black from being an M unit in Lompoc, and one day Black told me that he had some homies on the compound, and dude wanted to pay him to stay on the compound, and he never been nowhere where he felt that safe around guys. And he asked Black, could he stay on the compound and could he give him some money? And that day I seen how Black was one of the most smoothest guys from Philly that I ever met. He told dude, nah man, you can't stay here because you know the rules, man. Snitches get stitches. And the guy accepted that and he went on, checked in, and got on out of there. And from that day forward, I always knew that Black was the real guy, real deal from Philly. I always liked the way the guys from Philly knew how to box. I ran into a guy named Ace, that was from Philly, that was in Leavenworth. And as I traveling through the fairs, I ran into a lot of guys, but this guy really kind of like stuck out amongst the other guys. He had a crime partner named Celine, and Celine's wife had a beauty shop up in Lompoc, and his wife went everywhere he went. And these two guys, I think they was crime partners. And I used to wonder why a lot of dudes from LA used to talk to Black and hang with Black. Come to find out, when Black was running on his case, he was running in Los Angeles, and he was hiding out over there by the jungles, and he worked in the car lot, and they hid Black pretty good for years. And then when they ended up catching Black, he ended up going back to Philly. And he was a part of one of those big organizations out there. And when I started noticing Black, he was one of the Muslim guys, and he always used to cook, and he always used to save me a plate, and he made the best potato salad you ever want to hear, or ever want to eat. And as we was in Lompoc together, Black used to coach us in football. It was also, we was in the same unit with Rodney and Ray from Pasadena. We was in there with K-Head. We was in there with Little Man, 6'5", Bonnie Sweets. We had a hell of a unit, man. We was in there with so many guys. Pee Wee from Florida, Ant, Tweet from Compton. We all got along together in our unit, and we all played sports, and we all backed up each other. And it was a guy from Pasadena that all of us was like an uncle. He was like an uncle. His name Ray, and his brother. We was all like family, and we all looked up to Ray, and we always respected Ray. And Ray was a major figure into our unit, into his neighborhood. But to just talk about Black would be, one day Black was trying to see was we really down with him, and Black told us one day, say, man, let's start a ticket. And Black say, if we start this ticket, man, we're gonna spread it all around the compound, and we're gonna go against these other tickets, but when it's time to pay, we not gonna pay. And I'm looking at this guy, and I wanted to see, was he serious? And he was dead serious. So I say, Black, man, you see how all these dudes, man, ready to roll with you, man. I don't think that would be a good idea. And Black started laughing. And he said, yeah, man, I just wanted to see, was these guys loyal to me? Because, we eat together. We do a lot of things together, but could we fight together? So one day I was in the unit, and I heard they say lockdown. But I didn't know why we was locked down. So what happened was, North Carolina had a guy named Black. His name was Black. He was one of the best basketball players I ever seen. And JB kept fouling Black, and him and Black got in a fight. And the whole gym fought. Philly guys, Muslims against the the other guys. And it was both, all of them was pretty much from that area, South Carolina, North Carolina. So down, it was the North Carolina, and they start fighting. I mean, they tore the whole gym up. And Black and a guy named G-Dog. G-Dog was a Crip. I've been knowing G-Dog for a long time. I met G-Dog in Leavenworth and I think in Terry Hut. But G-Dog was one of their men's. Their men's was one of the guys that when something happened for North Carolina, South Carolina, G-Dog would actually was one of their shot callers. But G-Dog was a Crip, but he wasn't on time the time right then. So I heard that him and Black, man, they was at the end, they started off fighting against each other. And Black, Black used to box, and Black and G-Dog was fighting. Man, they say it was like a silverback and a great ape. A lot of people don't know the difference between a great ape and an ape. And man, they was fighting so hard. They fighting like back in the 60s, like Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, one of the Thriller in Manila. It was like the Thriller in Manila. It was like Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns. It was like Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard. It was one of the ones, man. It was so big that the police kept rewinding the tape, looking at the tape down in the SIS office. And that day, man, I haven't seen Black no more after that, but they destroyed the gym, and him and G-Dog was fighting so hard that neither one of them quit. And I heard that Black got the best of G-Dog, and then some people say it was vice versa, but I know Black was one of the guys that was really about his business, because one day when the DC guys got into it with the Mexicans in the yard, one guy had called Black over to talk to him, but he didn't know that morning that it was going to be a major riot with the DT guys and the Mexican guys. And Black was so loyal to the black people that when they got to fighting, the guys accident and had Black in the same cage, in the same area, fenced-in area that he had to fight with the DC guys. And he seen a couple guys was finna really get dealt bad, and Black jumped in and got in. That's how come I knew this guy, Black, Junior Black Mafia guy. And I knew that he was one of the major guys from Philly. And I always wanted to find out whatever happened to Black, but I know Black didn't get hurt. Black was in that riot. He was in the riot with the Black on Blacks inside of the gym. And I always liked it, Black. He was always a good friend of mine, and he always looked out for me. And me and Black, he was one of the most cleanest guys I ever seen. He had a shiny bald head. He was a Black, good-looking guy, and he was a good friend of mine. And I was a night orderly, and I used to always go around there and talk to him. And he always would ask me, man, Fish, tell me a story. And I used to tell him stories about my kids, and I used to tell him a story about, one day we're going to get out, and then one day that we're going to be able to talk about these things. And we had the same guy working on our case named Rivers out of San Bernardino. But I wanted to talk about Black because I know Black is going to be a billionaire one day, and hopefully that I can get Black number and talk to him, because I know that Black deserve, to get his time off. And I heard Black is out now, and I heard he just did 35 years. I did 33. And I'm just proud. I heard his mother was still alive. I'm just proud to even be able to talk about a guy like this guy. I wish the guys from Philly really understood. I really knew this guy, because this guy is the real deal from Philly. I've never really met a lot of guys from Philly that was like this guy. He always teach me how to box. He always used to teach me the defenses of the boxing, how Philly guys have a different kind of style. Well, he loved Bernard Hopkins, man. I mean, he used to put all his money on Bernard Hopkins. Anytime Bernard Hopkins would fight a Mexican fighter or any fighter, he would always bet on Bernard Hopkins. That's how come I found out that Bernard Hopkins was a Grand Reaper, and he was one of the best boxers that ever came out of Philly. Besides, I think Muhammad Qawi and a few other boxers, because they used to always call me the fight doctor, because I used to always talk about boxing. And Black love Bernard Hopkins, and today I'm talking about Black from Philly.